This is Taylor with Rosh Review, and today I'm going to show you how to assign assessments from your Program Director dashboard. To get started, you'll log into your PD Dash. If you don't have your login information, please contact us at support@roshreview.com and we'll help you get logged in. Please note that your dashboard may look differently than this, as this is an EM residency demo account. So to get started, you'll log in and you'll click on the Assessments tab at the top of your screen. You'll see two sections to the Assessments tab. There are the assigned assessments, which have already been released to your learners, as well as available assessments, which have not yet been assigned. To assign a new assessment, go under the available assessments and click on an exam name. Here you can choose which learners will receive the assessment. You can choose all of your learners. If you have cohorts set up, you can choose those delineations. You can also use this drop-down menu to select individual learners. Once you're ready, hit the Next button. Here's where you can customize how the assessment will be received by your learners. You can choose exam mode. We have tutor and test mode. Tutor mode will show the correct answer and the full explanation after each question, whereas test mode will just advance from one question to the next. Learners can still review the exam once it's been submitted to see the explanations. Also under test mode, you have the ability to set timed or untimed. Timed mode is 60 seconds times the total number of questions in the exam for PA and NP programs, and for GME programs, it's 72 seconds per question. If you want to assign an assessment ahead of time, you can choose a start date. If you didn't want it to begin until a future date, the assessment won't be available in learner accounts until that date arrives. Similarly, if you want to assign an expiration date, you can choose an end date here. Without an end date, the learner can begin the exam at any point, but if you want there to be an expiration, you can choose one from the calendar drop-down here. If the learner hasn't completed the exam by this date, they'll be locked out of the assessment. Similarly, if they're in progress on the assessment when the expiration arrives, the assessment will be submitted with any questions that they may have answered, counting as completed. Our last functionality here is the retake mode. It defaults to no retakes allowed. That means recording one and only their first attempt on the assessment. We have a few new options. You can now allow one retake. That would be the first attempt at the assessment as well as one retake. You can also assign unlimited retakes if it's more of a didactic assessment and you just want the user to have unlimited use of the exam. This is going to be the best option. We do recommend assigning assessments with no retakes. That way you can record that first score, the first attempt of the assessment, and you can always turn retakes on after the fact, after you've recorded that first score. Once you have this set up to your specifications, you can assign the exam. You'll get a notification telling you that the assessment has been assigned. And if we click on the assessment name, the one that we just assigned, you can see it's been assigned to one learner. You now have the ability to make some changes once an assessment has been released. You can change the exam mode. For example, if you assigned it in test and timed mode, and now that it's been completed, you want to release it in tutor mode, you can do that. You will receive a pop-up that previously recorded data on the assessment is going to be reset. So make sure you record any scores that you want to hold on to, any information before you change the assessment mode. You can also change the retakes. This will not affect any completion data on the assessment. You can change this at will and it updates in the learner account immediately. You can see that these changes are taking effect. You can see the date the assessment was assigned, and you can also assign or change an end date. If you assigned an initial end date of December 6th, you can push that out without any changes being made to the assessment data. Once an assessment is completed, you will see the date that the learner submitted it as well as their score. You can then choose to review that learner's particular exam and see which questions they got correct and which questions they got wrong. If we go back to the assessments page here, you can see a few icons. You can assign already assigned assessments to additional learners. You can review assessments, review results, and review assignees. If you want to review the results of an assessment, let's find one that was completed. You'll want to find assessments that have been completed. Otherwise, there won't be any results to review. You can click on results here, and the categories and their subcategories will populate here with % correct. If we view results by assignee, this takes us back to that kind of main assessment page where you can see their scores. You can review the actual exam. You can see the full exam, the questions that were correct versus incorrect, and a performance breakdown based on the blueprint. Another way to view assessment completion information is to click on the Learner Performance tab. You'll scroll down past Self-Study Performance to our Performance by Learner table, and you'll navigate to the Assessments tab. Here you can click on Completed Assessments to see all of the learners, their scores, correct and incorrect questions. And if you click on a learner name, you'll be taken to their cumulative performance page. This is a mirror of what the learner is seeing in their account in terms of their overall % correct, their progress, and projected scores. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you can see all of their assessments in one place here. If you have any other questions about assigning assessments, feel free to contact us at support@roshreview.com and we'll be happy to help. Thank you.